Super Mario Sunshine on the Nintendo GameCube, and for the past 2 years or so, there's been a Super Mario Sunshine DS ROM hack. It's a DS version of Super Mario Sunshine, and it plays on the Super Mario 64 DS engine, so I finally 100% this ROM hack. Sadly, this ROM hack is just a demo and only has the first 2 levels, such as Barnacle Hills and Rico Harbor, of course. So the game only has 16 stars, but they add a couple Delfino Plaza secret mini stages, so that adds a couple stars to the hack. So since I finally 100% this ROM hack, I figured that I'd make a ROM hack review on it. So without further ado, let's review this. So first, let's talk about the Delfino Plaza's minigames. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is the slide minigame. So at the start of the level, there's not really a difference besides the screen crunch, of course, because of the DS's screen, small screen. But at the end, you've pretty much got to be aware the end part is pretty slippery for some reason that I'm not aware of. And the small platform where the star is located, it's more slippery than the other platform that it's actually connected to, though. And if you want to use FLUDD to hover into the star, well, then don't even think about it, really, because you'll keep hovering and it's pretty hard to stay in the spot that is not out of bounds. And if you keep hovering when you get the star, the controls are pretty much flipped, very annoying, and then you can't go back on the surface. Come on. Let's go. Okay, good. I finally freaking made it. No! No! What? I lost my star! And when you fall out of bounds with your star, you lose your star and you have to restart. But other than that, it's a pretty good minigame. And the second minigame is a lily pad minigame. And god dang, it is freaking tricky. Granted, it's thankfully not as hard as the original, but jeez, man. If you can do this without save states, you are seriously talented. I had to use a bunch of save states for the lily pad minigame. Man, not joking. And the third is the turbo nozzle minigame. I'm not going to speak about this for long because it's the same as the GameCube version, and the final one is the pachinko machine. Yeah, I was surprised as well to see this, really. Thankfully, it's not hard, just like the original isn't really hard, in my opinion. But you're supposed to use cannons this time around. You simply shoot yourself to the slots, and 5 of them have silver stars in them, which I think is a pretty neat touch. And then when you're done, of course, you shoot to the slot in the middle and nab your star. So finished with the minigames, now I'm going to talk about Delfino Plaza. So the first thing you notice is that you have access to Barnacle Hills without spraying Shadow Mario. And behind it, there is 3 nozzles. You don't have to unlock them. I honestly prefer unlocking them on the GameCube version of the game, but it's fine. And also, you sadly can't shoot the water out of FLUDD, but you can only hover in the air, or rocket up in the air, or go really fast. So now, let's get into Barnacle Hills. So when you head into the painting on the statue, you'll of course enter the level. In version 4, aka the version that I play on my phone, the first star is titled Down with the Pokey King. Yeah, that does not say Petey Piranha. But in version 3, you can fight Petey Piranha, but it's sadly just a reskin of the Womp King from Womp's Fortress, and has the same exact attacks. It just looks different, and the hitboxes in different areas because of Petey Piranha's slate shape. I personally prefer the version 3 over version 4 boss fight because it's the closest thing that you're gonna get to the original boss fight. But in version 4, it's actually just a reskin. It's actually really just a reskin of the boys. So of course, you'll just run through the level and go up the small hill, go across the bridge, and head up to the windmill. But I think it's good to know that the controls are not very good with this ROM hack, mainly because of FLUDD, which is pretty surprising in my opinion. FLUDD works fine, but not that well. After that, your second star is the Hillside Cave Secret. What you'll do is you'll head over to the green hill on the left side of where the windmill is located, and there's a small gap you can actually go in, like the original, but sadly it's not the original secret stage. It's a new one, but honestly, I actually prefer the GameCube version, but I know the original secret stage though, but you'll do so. You'll go past some boulders and there are some orange bouncy platforms. And after some platforming, you'll head up to the top to find Shadow Mario. Actually, you'll grab him. Sadly, instead of shooting water on him, but we went over that already. Then he'll give you a star, which is not a surprising thing anymore, of course. Next up here, you've got the Petey Piranha's Perch. Now that's the third star in Bonket Hills. And when you head up, you'll be able to climb up, and there's a star on the small platform. So no boss, sadly, but so at some level, when you get through the first part, there's a small little village, and then you'll go through the back and climb up. And like I said, there's no boss, sadly, but it kind of makes sense. Granted, it does take a couple tries to get the hang of it. It's fairly simple in my opinion. I have died multiple times on it, but since, of course, I have 100% this ROM hack now, I pretty much have the hang of it. So since we've talked about Barnacle Hills for a while, let's talk about Rico Harbor. The first star is actually Blooper Surfing Safari. It's very similar to the GameCube version, but you ride on a shell instead and collect 8 red coins in the sewer. I'd still rather the time star instead of 8 red coins. And the second star is a star switch on the roof. So you'll take whichever route you prefer to go to the top of the surface. On one of those small houses, there is actually a star button. And this star is very tricky because of the controls, because FLUDD doesn't work that well all the time. Doesn't work well all the time. It took me multiple tries to get the hang of it. And the third star is red coins in the harbor. And trust me, this star can get annoying because of the same common reasons, because of FLUDD, because the Mario 64 DS, the game is controlled with a D-pad instead of an analog stick. So if you're trying to move somewhere outside of the D-pad's surface, you're just gonna end up moving right, left, or up or down, which can get pretty annoying, but yeah, it's the DS. So if you fall down, it can be very, very, very annoying when you have to climb all the way back up with FLUDD's physics. And star 4 is Secret of the Rico Tower. And it's another secret stage, but pretty sadly, it's very similar to one of Planet Village's secret stages. And that's pretty much all for the video, game review. It's a very nice ROM hack. Even though there's only 2 levels, there's actually a YouTuber by the name of Hailbot. Hailbot actually has level previews, such as Noki Bay, Pinnacle Park, Serena Beach, Planet Village, and Corona Mountain, actually. So I think if I were you, I would definitely go check him out because his videos are very, very cool. So he actually has a trailer up on his page about this ROM hack. It came out like a couple months ago or so. So honestly, if I were you, I'd be very, very excited for this to come out, and I will have a link in description for a way to download, and also an online way, not like play with other people, like a way where you don't have to download it, you're really just gonna play it on the emulator. And you can use save states and stuff, you just have to like sign into an account on retrogames.cc. It's actually very simple. I use this emulator all the time because on other emulators like Arcade Spot, for example, you can't play DS games on mobile, but with retro games, that's not the case because this is a DS game / ROM hack, and I'm actually able to play all the DS games that they have listed on there completely fine. Besides the touchscreen effect, you can't really use that, sadly. So if you want to use the touchscreen effect, you have to use your mouse for your computer, but that's a small price to pay because it's a very good emulator side. So thank you guys for watching. If you want me to do a part 2 on this one, like Hailbot updates all the levels and stuff, or because there are 6 stars in the 2 stages, there's 16 stars in the whole ROM hack. So if you want me to make a part 2 uncovering the other stars that's in the game, just let me know in the comments. And peace. Make sure to go check this ROM hack out if you'd like. It's very, very Alright, so this is the testing. Let's see how far away it can be and how clear it can be. Alright.